Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just going live into Bitcoin, big up the CoinsKid crew. So the DSY is having a retracement at the moment, isn't it? You're coming back in this retracement. This is a 12-month time frame, so we're looking at inverse correlation on the DSY right now. So like I said to you just there, I think you're taking off into space. You're too far away from the EMAs. You're sort of taking off. Everyone's getting overly bullish. It's a very crowded trade, and at that point as well, I did expect some kind of retracement. And I said to you, this retracement would provide opportunity. We did start to retrace. We started to come down towards the end of the year. We got the big wick as anticipated on the DSY, which would run into 786 for retracement, and this absolutely met our target on the absolute dollar and a cent right there for the DSY, which is an index against a basket of other currencies. Okay, this actually got rejected off a 1618 target and then has begun to retrace in some kind of correction, which I anticipate is an ABC correction, which will be inside of this big red candle, which is potentially going to form back down to these EMAs. Now this scenario I've spoken about all last year when everyone's getting really bearish and ultra bullish on the DSY, all the reply guy says no way, but right now it's sort of rearing its head, isn't it? So providing we can continue to see this sort of fallback here for the DSY, where we see the big red candle this year, you know, it's come the end of the year, we see a big red bodied candle down there, a rejection off this eye, and we come back to support, then for me, I think that this could be a looking glass to a potential bottom in the DSY and a top in Bitcoin, and we will look at that as an inverse correlation if it happens. Obviously I've not got a crystal ball, but right now it's kind of rearing its head, isn't it? And this is a situation that I've spoken about last year, that come 2023 I think it'll completely catch everybody off guard, and we'll look at some kind of big pullback in the DSY, big red body candle, because every 3 years you're doing it. 2017 opportunity in crypto, 2020 opportunity in crypto, 2023 big opportunity in crypto, and it's just a 3-year cycle. So what we want to see is the DSY breaking down on lower time frames. Okay, so we're going to dive in right now to see what we can see. So what I anticipate, and like I said to you all last year, I anticipate rejection off a 1618 and then a retracement back down, big red body candle back down to these EMAs for support for the continuation of this trend, okay, on the DSY. And that's how it all works. What goes up must come down. I've taught you that, okay? It doesn't mean that this is ultra bearish, just means it's coming up, coming down, coming up, coming down, and you know, it's in a massive uptrend right now. But these drawdowns in the DSY, opportunity there, and potential right now, it's rearing its head as opportunity, and this is something that I was forecasting. But anyway, let's take a look at the daily time frame for the DSY right now. So looking at the DSY on the daily time frame, we have got a death cross which printed yesterday, which is a, you know, a really good sign for a bull market. Basically, this is what you want to see if you want to be in a bull market. You want to see risk on going up, and you want to see Bitcoin going up especially, and some of those crypto projects, you need to see the DSY breaking down, because historically it always has whenever we've been in a bull market for the crypto projects right here. Okay, so again, what I am expecting is some kind of impulsive move this year, which is going to catch everybody off guard. But I've been looking at DSY to give the game away, and I know all the reply guys on there said no way, you know, DSYs were super bullish and things like that, but that made me even more sort of solid in my forecast, in the sense that, you know, people are expecting one thing, and too many people are expecting one thing. The complete opposite happens right now, and it catches everybody off guard. So again, it's absolutely not rock solid going to happen, but it's just something and a scenario I've been looking at for a very long time. I think on the DSY here, we're breaking down. If we can continue to turn these EMAs into resistance right now, we're breaking down some kind of bull trap, and right now we're breaking down. If we continue to do this and we come down and we sweep this low, that's bearish for DSY, but ultra bullish for crypto, in my opinion. Okay, now the inverse correlation is ringing true. If you remember a few weeks ago, if we take a look at the weekly, if you remember a few weeks ago, I said to you I would not be looking to short Bitcoin where it was on that trend line, and equally what we've got, it was in the RSI and the floor as well. It was right down there in the floor, and I said to you, not a good area to pile in a short or sell your Bitcoin at that point, because you know what the DSY is doing. The DSY is running to the 382 as resistance, and it did, and started to come back down. So if we drop the price in here, the Bitcoin price, a compared symbol, go to Bitcoin, new price to scale. At this point here, like I said to you a few weeks ago, you run into 382. I expect Bitcoin to find support and come up. Boom. It did. Okay, it was a beautiful move right there, and the inverse correlation was staring us in the face right now. So as this thing's breaking down, Bitcoin's coming up. So again, if it's finds support and starts to come up, then Bitcoin's going to roll, isn't it? So it's all about the EMAs at this point. Okay, right now the DSY is turning the resistance of the EMAs. Okay, and right now Bitcoin's got the support of the EMAs. So providing Bitcoin can hold the support of the EMAs going forward on the weekly, it's going to go up, and providing this can hold the resistance of the EMAs on the weekly, it's going to go down. So one of the things we're looking for here is a death cross on the weekly 20 and 55 EMA. I think gives a game away to a massive impulsive move here for Bitcoin. It's not bullshit, it's not hopium, it's something we've been looking at for a very long time on this channel right now. That 2017 we got the weekly death cross. What happened to Bitcoin? exploded. Okay, 2020 weekly def cross on the DSY, yellow and red line crossing, which is 20 and the 55 EMA. Weekly def cross. What happened to Bitcoin? Exploded. Okay, and right now we've not done it yet, so we can't get too excited, but we are potentially on the cusp of it. So the inverse correlation is that if it starts to find support and starts to come up and holds the EMAs again, that's bearish for crypto, and that obviously you're going to start to roll again. So it's all about the EMAs. EMAs are support for Bitcoin, hold them. Resistance to the EMAs for the DSY, hold them. Bullish for Bitcoin, bearish for the DSY. The inverse correlation is the flip. Do you understand? So just keep an eye on the DSY going forward. If this is breaking down, it's superb. You get def crosses, it's even more superb. So, just wait for that particular signal. If you're sort of scared, you're sitting on your hands, you've not necessarily got involved in crypto at the minute, then that, in my opinion, will be a major go signal for you on a lot of these altcoins that are sort of lagging at the moment and are getting frustrated and not really doing anything. I think if we see the def cross on the DSY here, this loss of this low as well, and we start to see the def cross on the 20 and the 55 in time, whenever it is, and it is a big if as well, because it might not happen. Please remember, nothing is guaranteed on this channel. It's all technical assets, it's all data and what ifs basically. But if it does happen, boom, you've got your signal right there to enter crypto and ride a beautiful impulsive move up when people were least expecting it. That's basically DSY. I'm just going to dive into the Bitcoin chart right now. So looking at Bitcoin on a weekly time frame, I think, we've got this massive ascending triangle. We're coming up like this and we broke down. We've got the bear trap like that. Throw back into the pattern, and right now we're continuing with this potential ascending triangle, which was what Bitcoin was carving out. And I've seen it still carving out on BNB, Ethereum, Chainlink and things like that, are still carving out this sort of structural high lows, okay, over a long period of time since the June low last year. I think this was a bear trap right now for Bitcoin, okay, and it will be proven fruitful. Obviously, if this thing just starts to come up and makes an all-time high, this was your little bear trap, okay. This was a little false break to the downside to trap all the bears basically. And right now, Bitcoin, the technical target for Bitcoin is this ascending triangle breakout. That's your technical target. Equally, what we've got here for Bitcoin as well, and I think obviously if we see the DXY def cross, it's just going to add more fuel to this particular target I've been looking at since you broke this resistance way back there. I think it was in January, of this massive falling wedge, tight, broken out, fell back to neckline support, looking to come up to each point of contact. So what we've got here is this point of contact and this point of contact. So when you break out of a falling wedge, you do usually retrace to each point of contact. So you can clearly see here we've got a massive gap. Okay, so there's no sort of point of contact between there. So this could really begin to take off here and really take off into this resistance just there for Bitcoin. So I would imagine if you start to see Bitcoin coming up and taking out that resistance, okay, and closing above it, your next stop is that resistance just there, which is 46k. Now there is a little bit of confluence lining up to that particular target. I did post this on Twitter yesterday and would tell, I said to people on Twitter, I will tell you why I think we could be up there in weeks. So I'm just going to show you something else right now for Bitcoin. Let's dive into another Bitcoin chart. So looking on the weekly still, I'm just going to jump on the 5 day in a moment, but I just want to show you that I think that, there's confluence here with the technical targets that I think we're in with these moving averages as well. So this is a beautiful little indicator. This is called the Bitcoin Super Cycle Indicator by Skirmitter. So I'm always trying to find confluence in charts for you. So right now, I think obviously we're busting the move through these EMAs and the moving averages, and right now we've got all this support below us. You see squiggly lines, I see support, okay? This is a bundle of support that Bitcoin's busting the move up right now. So providing we can hold this support, which we have been doing since we broke out early January, and we're falling back to this support. Look at the wick down and support of the moving averages, amazing. Look at the closes above the 20 and the blue line, which is a 10, and right now the 55. If we get the continuation here and we begin to come up, then that blue line's your target and the red line's your target. Now there's a bit of confluence to targets that I've got that these are lining up with. This swing low is pretty much where your blue line is, and then this swing high, which is the falling wedge target of the massive falling wedge. Let me show you. Look, that's your 46k target, is pretty much where the red line is. So I think that you're sort of marching towards that until you lose the support below. Okay, so I can't be bearish. I have to be projecting to the upside because you're breaking up and you're closing above support. Do you understand? So until we start to lose all this support below, we have to project to the upside. So, if we keep holding this support, don't go short, basically. I will try and find swings and roundabouts and things like that, short ops and long ops and things like that, because there's always opportunities, on a daily basis to go long, go short, ride the little ups and downs. But at the minute, we are looking at some kind of big impulsive move here that's continuing, providing you hold all the support below you right now. The minute you lose this support, this target to the upside, the blue line and the red line, matching the confluence of these targets of that falling wedge, and the bottom here of the ascending triangle with the blue line is not going to be fruitful, obviously. So we're holding support for that. Do you understand? So until we lose that, then the support for that is not lost. So if we take a look here, what I'm looking for here off this bottom, you can clearly see if I drop my EMAs out right now, the 10, the 20 and the 55, drop them out right now, you can clearly see when we got the bottom here and we fell back into the golden cross support and we took off. We melted through the blue line, fell back to its support the week after, and then boom, we got to the red line, which was key resistance before a big ABC correction. It's only when you come in an impulsive move, and again, when you broke this, what happened? You broke up, you fell back to the golden cross of these moving averages, and then boom, you're taken off. Okay, so just there, once you got back above this light red line here for the indicator here on this Bitcoin super cycle, you really did take off. That was a mania phase of that big impulsive move. So if Bitcoin right now comes up, gets resistance to that, comes back and breaks it, and you take out that red line, you are looking at a massive move here for Bitcoin, because whenever you get above that red line in any cycle means you're in the mania phase of a big impulsive move. Let me show you. So just there, you come up, you've broken above red line, mania phase. Just there, you're broken above a red line, after resistance coming back, you took out the red line, mania phase, the verticalness right there for Bitcoin. That's basically Bitcoin on the weekly, on the super cycle. To get that into your charts again, it's indicators, Bitcoin super cycle. So let me just show you something quickly on the 5-day time frame for Bitcoin. So looking at Bitcoin on a 5-day time frame, we have been keeping an eye on this. You know, you got the resistance to the median line, fell back to the lower end of support, and right now you're busting a move below the top end of the Gaussian. We've got 13 hours, 10 minutes left for this particular close above this top end of the Gaussian. Now historically, whenever Bitcoin's done this, it's absolutely took off. So 26258 is where we're looking for the close above today, above the top end of the Gaussian. Now historical data shows us that once you close above the top of the Gaussian after being red, your resistance, close above, boom, see you later. Massive impulsive move. Just there, closed above after being red, boom, massive impulsive move. Down here, close above after being red, boom, massive impulsive move. So again, data, not emotion. I'll be back tomorrow with another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Thank you for your support. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.